Hey, kitty. What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Come back here. Where are you going? Hey. Come back here. Fine. So I have something that I think you might enjoy today. I get a lot of questions with people asking me how we go about designing guitar pedals or, effects, whatever. So I wanted to kind of sort of walk you through that process of how I do it anyways. Everybody does it a little differently. This is the way that I do it. So I basically follow 10 steps. So let's say today I feel like making a fuzz. So that's my first step. Decide what I want to do. I want to make a fuzz. And the second part is a little bit different. It's you have to know how to get there. So you have to know how to make a fuzz circuit. But along those same lines, if I want to make a fuzz circuit, I don't want to necessarily make a big muff or a tone bender. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, I hear the sound in my head, and I think, I'm going to use op amps. I'm going to try op amps on this. I think I can get there with op amps rather than a transistor. Then we're basically just going to swap out parts till we get the desired sound, because that's kind of what breadboarding is doing. You start from some place and tweak things as you go to try to get the desired sound. So once I get that circuit, I'm going to draw it out on a schematic. I'm going to send it off to my guys that are going to lay it out for me on a circuit board, and we're going to build a prototype. After that, we're basically going to tweak the prototype until it sounds exactly like I have in my head. Because once you build a prototype, it never sounds exactly like it does on the breadboard. It just doesn't happen. And then once I get those changes on the prototype, we're going to build it. We're going to have another prototype built with the changes. And then after that, if the prototype just is not sounding good, it's not sounding like I want it to sound, then we start all over from step 2. But assuming that everything's okay, we're going to, pick out paint, figure out what graphics we want on it, find a name, make it a product. And then we just do that over and over and over. So let's jump into it. Let's try it. Okay, so I have a circuit on the board here, and it's not great. This is usually a process that takes days and not an hour. So keep that in mind. It's noisy because it's on a breadboard and there's a lot of gain in the circuit and there's wires going everywhere. So keep that in mind. I got a mic on the amp, but it really doesn't sound that great right yet. So anyways, clean tone. So normally this is where I swap out parts and change things around and add things and take away things until I get the desired sound. And like I said, that's usually a process that takes days, if not weeks, if not months. And sometimes it just ain't working, and I put the guitar away and go do something else. It's kind of a creative thing. But for the sake of this video, I mean, we can't get all this on film because it's going to take too long. So let's assume the circuit's done. What's the next step? The next step is drawing a schematic. So everyone has their own way of doing this. A lot of people use software. I'm a very analog guy. So I like to start out simply with a pencil and a paper. But that's just me. And I just simply draw out what I'm doing. So from that point, I'm going to get it laid out into a circuit. Get it laid out into a circuit board. And then I'm going to come back here. You can see this is not the same circuit. This is a whole different circuit. But, you see all the stuff that I've tacked on? Those are little changes that I'm going to make to this particular circuit, and of course added a switch to it. So that's the kind of stuff that, you know, we'll tweak at that next stage. And assuming everything goes right and I like the sound, we'll get it laid out again. I'll test it. Then it's time to choose what paint we're gonna go with. This is not always the easiest thing to do. It really is a gigantic amount of paint options, like literally thousands and thousands and thousands. Not always the easy thing to do. Okay, so after that, let's assume the circuit's done. I like it. We got the paint color picked. We're going to then come up with the name. We're going to trademark that name. For you pedal builders out there who are starting a company, it's extremely important to trademark your stuff. I learned that the hard way, so don't make that mistake of not trademarking your stuff. So, with that said, we got the name, got the color. We're going to then figure out how to, or when to, release it. And that's a whole different thing. That's more the business side. This is more of the creative process, the fun side. That's what I like to do most. So, you know, hope that helps you. Hope that gives you some sort of idea of like the process behind it. What I didn't show you as well is, like, I was just playing a Strat there. In reality, whenever I get the, where's the circuit at? Here it is. So whenever I get to this stage right here, so that's when like I was just playing through, you know, that Strat right there, and I was playing through that amp right there. But you know, I'll play through those guitars. Like, all this stuff gets used. Those guitars, I'll demo it through that. I don't usually demo through the line 6 amp. Nope. The Black Star, the Orange, the AC30, and the AC15 over there as well. Deluxe Reverb. That's a JCM 800, and yeah, probably the DSL. Seems like a lot of guys are using the DSL 40s right now, which that's pretty much the same thing, just a 100-watt version. And let's see, of course, my own amp, the Egnator, the Mesa Boogie, the Dr. Z, the Twin, of course. I have an old Plex. That shell back there is based off an old Plexi. I'll run it through that with that cabinet. So yeah, oh, and the Blues Junior. Got to run it through a Blues Junior. I got a Pro Junior back there. I'll run it through that. That Tyler is a great Princeton type of amp. You know, guitar-wise, like, that's like a Whitfield kind of a Les Paul thing. Got Strat with humbucker in the bridge. Got a Les Paul. More Tellys than I know what to do with. This is a really cool thing to check stuff out with, because it's different and it sounds great, and it's hot, like hot humbuckers, and not usually what I play myself, but like guys dig them. It sounds really good if you're into that sort of thing. Until it's more of a, I think it's more of a higher gain sort of guitar. Got the Ibanez, got a Schecter. Got a fake Les Paul made by Agile. That's my B-Bender Telly, and that's a bass that I never use. So that's basically what we're doing. So I hope this helped you in some sort of way. At least maybe it gave you some insight. And if you have any questions, please comment below. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.